So, anger is a great driving force when you want to get something done. Like you were wronged about something. Somebody said something, and you want to prove yourself. No, I'm right and you're wrong, and it gives you all this fire. This fire is not. It's not a good thing. It's a bad fire. And I'm not saying that it hasn't given this world a lot of. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. He had fire, and yet his fire was a little destructive, for the people around him, and the people that worked for him and his family. It was a very destructive fire. I cannot live the rest of my life with that kind of fire. And a lot of people have that fire and they become successful in business. But there's another kind of fire, and the fire is just the love of life and the love of nature and the universe and everything. And it's such a magnificent thing. And the more I find out, the more fire I get about exploring it or cleaning it or whatever it is. It becomes all precious. So my fire goes in a lot of different directions, but it's not an angry fire, not anymore. It's a creative, constructive fire. Why do I go to Burning Man? Why do I build things? Why do I paint my hat? I mean, these are all things that are creative, and I enjoy them as I'm doing, because it's coming from the right place, and it's coming from the right place is really important. And then afterwards I feel good, and I don't get stress out of having done it. I just, people say, well, can you fly so much? I says, I'm enjoying it, actually. It's not a burden, it's a pleasure. I get to go and I meet people and have interesting conversation. I love doing it, and I can't see, if I stop having that drive to want to meet people and exchange ideas, I think it's time for me to lie down and say goodbye. Like the person that you were telling me earlier, I think then next Saturday I'm done, it'll be a while. It'll still be a while, and it's interesting. I was in a conference in China, two-person panel. I had no idea that I thought I was supposed to give a speech. I thought I was supposed to give the rich people speech, and because there's lots of rich Chinese, and said no, it's not a speech. You're on a panel. I'm on a panel. What's the panel? The panel is about investing in the future. It's like, investing in the future. Okay. You could say that everything I do is an investment in the future, so it's fine. Okay, I'll deal with that. Fine. So who's my panel? So the other person on the panel is a 24-year-old genome sequencing genius that has made millions of dollars in China. He's like the gene sequencing guy. And the lady who's doing the panel, she is some reporter from CCTV, and she was great. I mean, because we're very different. Now, how's that a panel, And she was asking questions, firing questions, and making us say things that were sort of like coherent out of all of that. So she asked me, so Mr. Rogers, how do you expect to accomplish your missions? They're very big missions in your lifetime. And I said, well, I'm expecting Boy Wonder here to resequence my genes so I live to be 200. So yeah, as long as we have productive lives, as long as we're doing things, as long as we still have some kind of reason to do something, then I don't mind people getting old. But if it's just to wait for death in an old people's home and play bingo, I can probably skip that part.